What's up, man?
Great. How are you?
I'm great.
Awesome. How's your little vacay?
Oh, dude, it was fantastic.
That's awesome.
It was like, I went to Florida to surprise my brother.
William, right?
Yep, Will. Me and him are real close. We talk every day, and he's been asking me he's like, when are you gonna come down? Like, when are you gonna come down? Blah, 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 blah. And I kept lying to him for like a month.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen him in like probably 8 months. So, I actually have a video of me surprising him.
Okay.
That his wife recorded, and it's pretty funny. So I'll send that to you, and we can show these people.
All right, cool.
Because it's touching. It's pretty good.
Okay, so Operation Surprise William with Cody's visit is about to go down. He has no idea. I've held the secret for
like 3 weeks.
I know. That's good for me. All right.
Let's get it over with.
Let's do it. Okay.
You gonna pull me back?
What in the world? Why are you here?
To stay.
Oh, what? Yo, how's it going, dude?
What's up, man?
When did y'all do all this? Oh,
babe.
when did y'all do this?
Today.
Oh, what? Bro, I got work to do. I can't do.
Are you surprised?
I'm very surprised. I had no
Did
idea.
I see a tear in your eye?
I don't cry, baby. No.
You lied. Oh, we held a secret for like 3 weeks.
3 weeks, dude.
Are you serious?
Yeah. But it was great, man. It was. I mean, dude, the weather. It's like 72 and between like 70 and 82.
Oh man.
Every day. It rains for like 10 seconds and it's done. We were at the skate park with his kids, going to like free skate parks, hanging out, just laying back, dude. It was just I had to wear sunscreen.
That's awesome. Where in
What?
Florida is he?
He's in Wesley Chapel. So
Okay,
it's like Tampa area. Yeah. And
Nice.
I have my sister and her husband live like 20 minutes from there. So they actually picked me up from the because I flew in at like 11:30 p.m.
Ooh.
So I didn't want to. The way the surprise had to work, it had to be like natural. So I couldn't just like show up at 11:45 because he'd be sleeping, and his wife's not gonna like keep him up, for no reason.
Yeah, right.
So I had my brother-in-law pick me up, stayed there, woke up. His wife came and got me, and then it was great though, man. I got to see his little son and daughter and my sister and all of them. I went from Sunday to Thursday night. So it was just great, man. It was a great little getaway, great little energizing visit.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
So I kind of know your brother because I took his low back pain relief course. I was in that for a while, and it helped me big time.
Yeah, shout out
So,
fitnessforbackpain.com.
yeah. Because I struggled with low back pain for a long time. It's finally pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that's a tough thing to get rid of.
It really is, man. It's a life change.
Yeah.
You got to you got to rethink the way you move and all that kind of stuff. And
absolutely.
Everything matters,
Yep.
So, yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, my brother is also an entrepreneur, and he runs a business called Fitness for Back Pain, where he teaches you how to like organically solve back issues because he's had vertebrae issues and stuff like that from lifting. So he shows you how to like work out and live your life and not have to like get surgery, or what to do when you have surgery and you feel like you're immobile, how to like, still stay healthy and work through that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. And what's really helped me is like right off the bat, he had some book resources.
Yeah.
I think there was like 3 of them, and I dove right into that. And those
cool,
books were like game changers. You know what I'm saying?
Heck yeah, dude.
So,
Dude, back pain's not fun, dude.
No.
It'll wreck your day.
I've had it pretty bad for like 2 years.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, like it sucked.
Where do you
dude.
think that comes from? Just bad movements?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was an a-hole to my back for a long time, dude. Overdoing it all the time.
Yeah.
And then what did it is I remember when our fourth was born,
Okay.
I had some time off. I'm like, hey, honey, there's a CB 550 engine for sale for $100. I'm gonna go snag it. So I get it home, and here I am trying to
Oh yeah.
lift the thing right out of the freaking trunk by myself. It's 100, I don't know how many pounds, and that just didn't feel good, right?
Yeah, lifting with your back, not your legs.
And then I think a week after that, we're up at my in-laws lake house, and we had to winterize the boat. And the lake level was really low, and the goddamn thing wouldn't get off the lift.
Okay.
It was too high.
Yeah.
So we were like lifting on the freaking rails, wrecked it, dude.
Yeah, dude.
And yeah. So after that, it was like, you're done, dude.
Right.
So
Right. Well, I'm glad it's getting better. And that's what's happening. So that's good.
yeah, and what's really helped is regular exercise.
Yeah.
Getting your core strong.
Yep.
Moving right. So
yeah, I mean, it's almost like every movement has to be kind of calculated. Like for me, because I was running into problems where it would just be like, it wasn't like one bad thing that happened and then I'd have back pain or lower back pain. It was like a series of bad decisions on how I moved. And that's like what culminates into like a session of pain. So like it could be like at the shop, we have big bay doors and we open them up with this strap. So I'll do like one of these and like whee, and I mean it's a big door, you know what I mean? And it's still probably, to lift it, you're probably talking about maybe 35, 40 pounds. So you're just like, oh, and then eventually it gets going. So instead of doing that, it's more like, you know what I mean? Instead of like one of these side things. So yeah.
I mean, if you had to pick up 1,000 pencils, and you have shitty form, it's gonna get you eventually, right? So yeah.
Even things like I had to, because I always had my wallet on me, so I would keep it in my back pocket when I drove, and I would sit for like 30 minutes or 28 minutes when I'm driving. So like that takes your pelvis and like does that.
Yeah. Did you have like a Costanza wallet?
I mean, it's a wallet. I mean, I feel like most guys' wallet are pretty, half inch maybe.
Mine is thin, and I keep it in my front pocket.
Yeah. Okay. So you're like the money clip kind of guy.
It has a money clip on it.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's never money in it. So
that's how my brother is. He's a money clip kind of guy. Yeah. He's got like one card, his license, and then that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all you need, man.
I keep the world in there. I don't know why, but well, cool, man. So we're recording this on a Saturday. Shout out to all Saturdays out there. I had to work today till 3, by myself actually, which was very annoying.
Oh yeah, you have to do everything, huh?
You gotta do everything. You gotta do state inspections. You gotta answer all the phone calls. So you pretty much plan on getting nothing done.
A lot of distractions.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it takes 10 minutes to get into something and 10 minutes to get out of it. You know what I mean? So like someone calls, like you're in the middle of something, someone calls, it takes 10 minutes to get back in. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
You go over, check your phone. Like you can't just be like, meh, meh, and then like robot yourself back over to the job and start like wrenching again. You gotta transition back into it. And that's just natural. So you got state inspections. You got people who want to talk about the weather. You got people who want to talk about how bad people are driving. You got people who want to, it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah. It's like me in the corporate world. It's like meetings.
Yeah.
Such distractions. You don't get anything done. And it's just running around from one meeting to the next. And you just talk about what you're going to do and you don't do it.
Right. Right. So I'm still building the trike at work. I had to wait. Obviously I went to Florida, so that was kind of like a week delay, but I had it booked and I told the guy who owns it, I was like, I gotta go, so this is going to be on hold. And plus we were waiting on, cause we are an authorized motor trike dealer. So we specifically work on motor trike brand, trike kits, and they changed like this, which is somewhat of an important part from the older style systems that they use, which was like they would take the rear shock out. So it was like a unishock in the center of the Goldwing, up like right where your crotch would be, but straight down. And they take like a angled piece of squared tubing. So it's kind of like this end goes back up to where the top of the shock mounted. So this would bolt in kind of underneath the gas tank right there. And then this would extend all the way out to where the trike kit is. So it would kind of like attach almost like a trailer hitch.
Okay.
And it was probably 4, maybe 3 feet long. Well, they did away with it. And we didn't know that. So like in the instructions, they haven't fixed the instructions yet. And the instructions say to install this part. And I'm like, A, there's nowhere to bolt this thing onto this thing, or they just forgot to drill it, forgot to send it. So I had to like wait a week because of snow that was taking place all over the world. And shouldn't be getting snow. And so they were shut down. And it was just like a big catastrophe. Long story short, it doesn't need it. So now I'm still working on a trike. Probably about 75% done. So
that's a big job, dude. I saw some pictures on Instagram and it's like, whoa, man.
It's a big job. I think right now the hardest part for me, the most difficult part is routing all of the original wire harness. You know, because before it has all this, like, you know, it had places for it to go, you know, like places for it to, like, you know, how some like harnesses will have like those little like push in things that kind of hold it into the frame. So those are gone now because I cut the subframe off, you know, and there's no luggage bags. It's just one big hatch on the rear of the trike body. So you're trying to like manipulate this harness. Like, what's the best way for this to go? Like, is this going to rub 4 years from now? You know what I mean? Like, so you're trying to like finish and kind of finesse this thing around. And you're like, crap, I don't remember how it was before, you know? So you like go back to the manual. It's just, that's probably one of the more difficult parts of it. Bolting parts to parts is not hard. It's figuring out how to make that last and how to make, you know, how to make it clean and you can be proud of your work. I mean, really.
All the details, man.
Yeah, all the small details is what really slows it all down.
Yep.
So, what beer are you drinking on right now?
Hacker Shore.
Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
It looks like Hacker Fisher. Hacker Pisser.
Hacker Shore.
Okay. Is it a Hefeweizen?
Yeah, I guess it's a wheat beer. I used to drink this stuff all the time. I was on a kick.
Okay.
For a while. So it's
I'm drinking. Oh, it looks very wheaty or hazy.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Unfiltered wheat beer.
I'm just cranking out this Blue Moon.
Oh, you still have those?
I don't like them. But what happened was I had this other beer, right, that I do want to drink. But last night, they looked kind of similar. I don't know. In my fridge, it looked similar. So I was like talking to my wife, blah, 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 blah. I cracked this. I'm like, oh, I don't want this. And I put it back in the fridge with the lid on it.
Well. I haven't even opened it yet, so I'm going to open it right now. It says,
fantastic.
From Cody Richards to Matty Ice.
Matty Ice. Terrific. Dude, you have great, what's the word for, I guess it'd be patience? Like someone who's able to contain their ability to not be like interested.
What's in here?
Oh, hey-oh.
Well, you know,
I'd be like, I gotta open it up. I'll just retape it.
Well, I gotta open it now because I gotta put on some snow in my cooler.
Okay. All right. Got some Smart Mouth. Local beer.
Old Leaf.
Yep. Devil's Backbone. That's from the same company as this one right here. They're in North Carolina, South Carolina. Highlight. That's how you say that.
Highlight. All right. I saw this at the store when I was there.
That is my favorite IPA.
Yeah.
Highlight. Yep. Elysian, whatever you call it. And another one from Cigars. So that's in Florida. Both the Highlight and the Brown. And dude, O'Connor's, one of our biggest breweries in Norfolk.
So which one should I have next?
You had a wheat beer. You need something to cut that. I would say if you want something like a sweet IPA, go for the El Guap, dude. The El Guap. It's a
one?
go-to. Yep. That's at
All right.
every 7-Eleven. This is exciting.
Well, it's gonna be a few minutes. Let me put that sucker on. Yeah, dude, I got
snow
this.
still. Do you still have snow?
Dude, tons of snow. It's all melting like crazy. So that's what I was, what I was doing today is I was chipping a lot of snow and ice.
Okay.
I built a quarter pipe for my kids to skate on. Well, it was covered.
Sweet.
And he's like, Dad, I really want to ride it. So we chipped away all this freaking snow and ice.
Yeah.
So you could ride it.
On a snowboard?
Scooter. They
Scooter.
like the scooters.
Oh, wow. Okay. Are they like sled scooters?
Those scooters with the small wheels, like the razors.
Wait, hold on. They're riding that on the street though, right?
Oh, in the backyard. It's like a pedal scooter. It has like rollerblade wheels on it, and the deck is this.
How are they able to drive that through the snow?
No, I moved the snow.
Oh,
I had
so
to clear
you have a half pipe that's not snow.
quarter pipe.
Quarter pipe.
I built it out of wood. And
Okay.
then just,
For some reason, I was thinking that you made a quarter pipe out of snow, and I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, no. I had to clear
Got it.
the snow off the quarter pipe. Sorry.
Very cool. More goodies.
Dude, this is going to last me a long time. So we
Yes,
got the
it
Grip
is.
Clean
Shout out Grip Clean.
lemon scent.
Yep. My favorite hand cleaner right now. You guys can get 10% off by using the code MOTOMD at checkout. I'm so pumped that Matt finally has this stuff to.
I want to smell it.
Yeah.
That smells fresh, dude.
Yeah, man.
It smells good.
Smells good.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. Shout out to the Beer Fund for allowing me to afford shipping on this box.
Dude. They charge you $35. God damn.
Bro. Yeah.
They knew you were coming.
I knew it. And you got the hand wipe. So awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, I want to try one of these.
Yeah, buddy.
Pull it from the center, right?
Yeah, it's the mechanism is kind of different. Once I get it past that little like tear part, I kind of hold it with my hand because it'll just keep ripping them all the way out. It's kind of like a thick paper material. So there you go. Mm-hmm. Yep. We need one of those those microphones that are like super sensitive to sound.
Yeah. 1 second. Let me try something.
Yeah.
Some nice brake dust.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, they work good.
Yeah. Oh. And that wipe will last you, man. Like, I almost want to like hold on to them because like I just keep using it until it's done. But
What happens when it dries out?
then it's no longer usable.
Oh,
but,
okay. So it'll stay wet for a while.
Yeah, it will. They're pretty saturated.
Cool.
Boom. What is that rack you have to the left? Is that all your shipping stuff?
So it's for all the blast gun stuff.
Wow.
Set it all up so it's all nice.
Yeah, man. It's like a real
box.
deal small business right there.
I mean, dude, the first batch went out a week ago, so people already have received them.
Cool.
I did it in my basement because it was freezing out,
Yeah.
you know, and I wasn't all set up, and I just kind of put everything on a table and I just started assembling them and shipping them, and it was kind of a pain in the ass. So now for the next batch, I'm a little more organized.
Oh, there you go.
I know what to do, all that stuff. So
those are sold out right now, but you're coming out with more
in late March. Yeah.
Late March. Okay, cool.
So I have a wait list.
Okay.
People on the wait list will get first dibs on the next batch.
Sweet. Very good. And I imagine that's probably filling up.
It is.
Cool.
It's filling up quick, man.
So anybody who vapor blasts, dry blasts, wet blasts, blaster blasts, get on the list.
Yeah. If you want a gun, get on the wait list because you'll get notified first.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Pump for you for that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I don't really have any news. I've been out on vacation, so let's fire this thing up. Let's fire this motor up.
All right.
So what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Moto Show, episode 29. 29. And this is a collaboration that me, Cody from Motorcyclemd, and my buddy Matt from How to Motorcycle Repair got together on to talk, answer some motorcycle questions, small motor stuff, and kind of give the value to the people who need answers, I guess. And we try the best that we can. It's not the gospel, but hopefully we're giving someone some helpful advice every now and then. There is one specific way to get in touch with us if you have a question about anything. What is that email, Matt?
It is askbrokenmoto@gmail.com. Make sure to put your year, make, model in the subject and just be descriptive in the subject of the email. Mileage, any modifications, pictures are a huge plus, and so are videos. We haven't had any videos in a while.
I know.
So take some videos with your smartphone of it running if you got running issues or whatever, and I think that'll help us out.
Yeah,
big time.
And if you're a little bit uneasy or embarrassed about being on the camera, just get like your wife to do it. Just record her saying what you need her to say. Oh man, I actually my wife she hinted at the idea of wanting to learn how to ride a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
The whole dirt bike thing. So the other day I was like, I had this idea for some really, I think would be cool content thing. I texted her and I was like, hey babe, I have this crazy idea. I want to talk to you about it. Remind me of it. I saw her I think I forgot about it. 2 days later I talked to her. I was like, so what if I did a whole series on us picking up whatever old bike you want and building a bike for you? And she's like, do I have to be on camera? And I was like, yes. And she said, no. So that idea was squashed. I thought it'd be cool. Might be a little bit of eye candy, some more clicks, some more likes. I don't know. But she was like, she's just very opposite of me, where this doesn't, it's not, I'm not nervous to be on camera, but for her, she doesn't like on Instagram. She doesn't take videos of herself talking. She's just very self-conscious about. I don't know what it is. So
no, right, that's understandable.
Although that would be and there's no problem with that at all. So that's not going to happen. But maybe I'll build her a bike. Maybe I'll make it a series. I don't know.
But does she want a bike?
Yeah, I think so.
What? Well, maybe you don't want
to say. Probably some kind of 125, like CL 125 or something kind of small that we can kind of paint and mess around with, and clean up and something
absolutely.
Tiny. She doesn't want anything to go on long trips with or anything like that. She likes the idea of the old cool looking bike. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, maybe it will happen. I will be starting a series on this in about a week and a half. I planned it all out, and I'm just going to go through. It's going to be called, Matt, the road to start. Get it? Start them. I'm going to start it up. So I'm going to record every video of me just getting to that point, whatever it is.
Okay.
Whether it's me, lifting the bike up in the air and checking tire pressures and putting it back down and send a video out. It doesn't matter. It's going to be recorded of just the process that it takes for me to get the thing fired up and done. So that would be, I think it would be a long series. So kind of like your car video.
So from this point, at the point it is now till running.
Kind of explain where I'm at, how I got here. Obviously, I have the whole motor videos stuff that I think I will be packaging. But this is where I'm at. This is where I started, all that kind of stuff.
So on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Because I have seen almost nothing of that bike, obviously, because it's in your membership area.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool.
So, yeah, man.
Nice.
Well, awesome. We got some questions.
Yep. Let's get right into it.
I have a question, actually.
Okay.
Actually, we need to answer last week's trivia question.
Okay.
Which I believe I asked. And that was the question of what car company owns Ducati? Okay, so this is a tier ownership. Okay, there's like sister people who own it. But the closest company who owns Ducati is Lamborghini. Okay, Lamborghini is owned by Audi. Or Audi, however people say it. They are owned by Volkswagen. So Volkswagen ultimately owns Ducati.
Okay.
But Lamborghini is closest ownership to it. And
wow.
I never
didn't
knew
know that.
any of that information.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Learn something new every day, bro.
Yes, you do.
So I'll go ahead and fire up the next question.
Okay.
For you guys to comment below, email us in with, whatever. If you want to email us in the answer, send us a picture of your bike, something that we'll put up here. So if I can remember, because I just made this question off the top of my head. Pretty proud of myself. So what style of head from a motorcycle engine, the head or the valve train, is able to function intake and exhaust valves off of one cam? Okay. So what style of head or valve train is very popular, is able to function both intake and exhaust valves from only one camshaft? There you go.
I had to think about that because the way it was worded, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
It makes sense now.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Awesome. All right.
Cool, man.
All right. Let me read it off.
Yeah, man.
All right. Question 1 is from Rodney. He has an 82 Nighthawk 750 SC with key and carbs. Guys, I've got issues, but that's not what I'm writing about. I do have 3 questions, so here it goes. I watched Cody's carburetor videos, cleaning and rebuilding, and got a rebuild kit. The rebuild kit's jet needle was about 1 inch shorter than the original. Should I use the original or the new one? Which way does the brass nibs name ? Round side or up or down? So we'll share a picture in a second what he's referring to here. I switched out all the lights and replaced them with LEDs. Not the bulbs, but the whole, fixtures, if you want to call it. Looks great, but so far, I might have gone overboard. Last I turned the key, it kind of looked like a Christmas tree. No one's going to accuse me of being invisible. And I got a digital display with an analog speedometer replacing the speedometer tachometer. Lots of wires to figure out, but there's one wire I need help with. This white wire for the temp sensor. It'd be for a water-cooled engine, of course, but his bike is air-cooled. My question is, should I attach this wire to some type of receiver that would connect it to my garage fridge and it would tell me the temp of the beer and maybe even the number of beers? Or should I attach this wire to a weather transmitter that would tell me the current temp and weather? Because when you're riding a bike, it's always good to know if it's cold, hot, sunny, cloudy, dry, raining, etc. Your advice, much appreciated. Just curious, is it possible to replace the key and carb with one considered the best for this bike? And then he just found a $20 bill in his jeans pockets from last summer. Thanks to the help, guys. Rodney.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right. Let's pull up these pictures real quick.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Sorry, I had the wrong button, man.
All right, some old aluminum top, aluminum piston carbs. Cool.
And you have a video on this, right? So
I
that's
do,
what he's
man.
referring to. You just came out with this one, right?
I did. It's a monster.
What are these carbs nicknamed, by the way? Any nickname?
I've always called them like the piston top carbs because it's functioning like a piston.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's true.
That's what I've called them. I've never, or I've called them like the aluminum top carbs. But I don't know if there is a more.
Okay. I was just curious.
I like these style of carbs because it's very like it's very like metal. You know what I mean?
No rubber diaphragms to rip or pinch or.
It's just metal on metal, man. Just flowing.
Yeah, they look kind of funky though.
Yeah.
But anyway, so here's the carbs. Next picture is the bike. Man, this guy's got to get organized. Oh my god,
it looks like my garage. Oh, that's fantastic.
Man. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if my garage. And if it does, it stresses me out, man. I can't find anything. Holy shit.
I know.
But no,
it stresses me out too.
It's all good. All right,
Very
next
cool.
picture.
Yeah.
All right, so you can't see my mouse, can you?
I can, yeah.
Oh, you can. Okay. All right.
Yep.
So this is the jet needle he is referring to.
Yep.
His one in the rebuild kit was an inch shorter,
which is nonsense.
Yeah. And I guess what rebuild kit did you buy? Did you buy for the correct application? How about
I don't know what they were doing. Yeah.
How about the ones in the carb? Were they even correct to begin with? That's a question too, you know?
That's a good question. Yeah.
But generally speaking, this needle should protrude up to the main jet.
Yeah.
So if you were to pull the main jet off and then it was down into the emulsion tube or whatever, you would see maybe a little bit recessed or even maybe poking out a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, an inch would be obvious.
Substantial. Yeah.
Yeah. So just that'll give you some info.
Also, most other than like very specific bike carburetors, most Honda needles will look like this picture. It's a very gradual taper. If the needles that came in the kit have like a very thin point and then all of a sudden like a dramatic step up, or it's not a gradual, nice, smooth transition like this one is, it's not factory. And to answer his question, I would just stick with the stock ones. Unless that you look at these needles on your original carbs and you see like, wear. Like you can see like sometimes those needles will get cocked in that brass, I think what it's called the nib up to the top right. They'll get cocked in there and then they'll like wear on that because they're sliding up and down, and they'll develop flat spots and it will wear out the nib and it will wear out the needle.
Yeah.
So if you don't see any wear on it, keep it, man. Just run it. Yeah.
So what's the official name for this guy here?
That'll be the
jet holder.
That's what I was gonna say. Or the needle.
Needle holder, jet holder.
Needle holder. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so his question on that guy was, which way does it go?
Right.
If you look closely at this picture, one diameter is a little larger than the other.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't see both sides, but it'll only go in one way and it'll fit in snug, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be loose and it's not going to be super tight. So that
right.
should give you an indication of which way it should go. One side probably might be somewhat flat and the other one will have like a counter bore, right?
Yeah.
So the counter bore, I believe, will face into the throat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Which would be this guy here, which would be larger, right?
So if the carbs are installed, it's facing towards the sky.
Yes.
It looks like this back end the right side of it is the part that faces towards the emulsion tube. One other way to think about it is that needle holder, because I consider it like one has like a blunt side. It's very blunt. There's no really anything going on. But the other side's very meticulous. It's tapered and may have like a sharp edge on it. If you hold that up to the emulsion tube, the tip of it that rests against it is concaved, right?
Right.
So, and they kind of fit like a beautiful pair, versus the other side where it's like you have this really sharp edge going against this like blunt emulsion tube, you know? So, but yeah, you're right. The tapered edge, the sharper edge, the one that has a nice taper going in, will face towards the sky if the carbs were installed.
Right.
Yep. That's the nib.
The nib. All right, I think that's it for this. So let me get out of here. Okay, so we're back. So what would you do with this extra wire?
Well, the mirror idea sounds great. I just don't think you'll be able to hook up a wireless transmitter to it. I mean, if you really wanted to, if you're that, conscious about making sure this wire is plugged into something, because it's going to throw a light once it's grounded, probably. What I would do is they do sell this is if you really wanted to. They sell like temperature readers that kind of fit into radiators that you can get from like Baja Designs.
Yeah.
For like if you're trying to make a dirt bike on road and you want to have a fan assembly and all this stuff, they make these little stick-ins that you can stick into the radiator and it reads coolant temperature. And you can tell that to have a signal to send to like a fan or something at a certain temperature that you can preset. And you can get that stuff off eBay or whatever. If you really wanted to, I mean, find a cool bracket that's like right by the maybe lower section of the head or lower section of the cylinder and rest it on it and wire stuff. I mean, it's going to look funny because you're going to run this random wire to this little transmitter and all it's going to do is say, hey, the motor's kind of hot.
Well, what you could do is just have it read free ambient air. What's the temperature outside? You look down at your dash. It's 60 degrees out. It's nice.
Sweet.
Or
I wonder if it feels so good when I'm riding.
Or it's 50 degrees. It's getting a little chilly.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
Ambient air works too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Cool. Thanks so much, Rodney. For those of you who don't know, those of you who do, you know who you are. We have what we call the beer fund, and this is a way to get donations from you guys. Ooh, Matt's cracking the El Guapo. Straight from Norfolk. I want to see what you think. But we have a beer fund, and this is a place where if you like the show, if you like what we talk about, you find value in it, maybe you laugh a couple times. It's a way to support us. We can buy beer with it. Obviously, you're helping to support 2 different families from across the world. And it means a lot to us when you guys donate. Obviously, it means a lot to us when you guys just like the video and share the video as well and tell people about it, because we want to get more people involved in this, not just to donate, but to, make this maybe something one day. So we got some people who donated, though. And I feel like we have a little bit of a competition going on.
Dude,
go ahead and read them off, man.
Yeah, so first up, we have the Fitz.
Yeah. The Fitz.
Second up, we have the Fitz again.
There he is, number 2.
Then we got Justo.
Then
we got the Fitz.
The Fitz again.
And then we got Justo. And we got KJ, I believe.
Thanks, KJ.
In Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
And we got Paul from across the pond.
Fantastic.
Bought us another tray.
We got a little competition going on right now, I feel like. Fitz versus Justo. But seriously, thank you guys.
Wow, man. I mean, to donate one time and then I'm going to do it again and again and again.
Right. Bink.
Cheers.
It means a lot. What do you think, man? It's a little bit heavier IPA, but it's kind of sweet to me.
It is. It's kind of fruity or citrusy. It's got something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good.
The El Guap.
7.5.
There you go.
It's
O'Connor,
good.
it's literally like 10 minutes from here.
No, it's good, man. It doesn't have like that bitter taste that hangs forever.
Right.
So yeah, it's
Very
good.
cool, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for
Glad you
sending
liked
that.
the first one. And
Yeah.
thank you guys. Again, the beer fund allowed me to send a $40 shipping package to Matt.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
worth
man.
it.
Yeah, it was. Thank you.
Cool, man. So move on to question numero dos. Question, episode 29, question number 1, Honda CB750 Nighthawk. This is from Gabriel. Greetings, Cody. During a recent show, you said that you would post a link to the CB750 pilot screw washers that were on Amazon. I wasn't able to find that link. Would you mind getting that for me, please? Thanks. Gabriel, absolutely.
I want the link too, man.
Absolutely. I will do that for you and Matt and everyone else because I'm probably failed.
Don't worry, I'll be hounding you all week. Hey, give me that link, man. Because I'm in charge of this episode, right?
Blow me up, man.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, and what he's talking about is the washers the little steel tiny washers that are so easy to lose when you're doing carb rebuilds on the mixture screws. They have a certain system of how they install these parts, like a mixture screw that you actually adjust, spring, rubber washer, no, steel washer, and then the rubber O-ring. And it goes in that order. And the steel washer is important. A lot of times they're missing from carburetor rebuilds, but it allows the spring to not dig into this rubber O-ring because the spring is pretty stiff because they don't want that thing backing out, So the steel spring is very important. The steel washer is very important to allow that system to function and work and make clean adjustments and all that kind of stuff. And Honda does not sell that part by itself, right? You got to buy a $60 assembly to get that small washer. And we actually found a link, so we'll definitely share that below.
Awesome, man. Yeah. Someone needs to sell those in bulk. I don't think anyone does.
Well, the link on Amazon sells it in a pack of 50.
Okay, and it's the actual size.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Perfect.
It's perfect. It's okay. It's like $10 and you get 50 of them.
Nice. And
yeah,
now the O-rings. Someone needs to make the O-rings.
There you go. That's Yep.
I mean, and surprisingly, I've never lost any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've been lucky, I guess.
I think you know what you're looking for. I think one of the biggest problems that happens is that people take stuff apart. They've never been in there before because they saw a YouTube video of some cringy garage, someone doing the job, And that O-ring, if you've ever done one, that steel washer, oftentimes it sticks to that rubber O-ring. So when it falls on the table, it may look like an O-ring, or they don't realize it's in there and it just stays in there. Well, I guess that'd be different because you still have it, but it's stuck in there. You got to kind of fish it out. But
yeah,
same thing happens on I think I've mentioned this before, but on cartridge filters, on the old school cartridge filters, they had that steel little spring with the washer, and people would just toss the filter, but the steel washer is stuck to that filter, so then it's gone forever because they don't know it's there. They don't think it's supposed to be there. But lo and behold, that steel washer is inside the garbage. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Question 3 is Jason with the VT1100 issue. I think from a previous episode. I'm not sure if it was 27, 28.
Yeah,
or whatever.
It was definitely recent. Yeah.
So after watching your video about the issues I'm having, I noticed that the cooling fan wasn't kicking on like it normally was. I never really noticed it not working due to always having music playing. I tested the fan by grounding it out to make sure it works. Just waiting in new thermal fan switch to come. I have also screwed the air fuel screws back in to about 2.5, 3 turns. I do not know if the carbs have been jetted since the air fuel screws plugs were removed when I purchased the bike. Just figured I'd give an update about the fan since you mentioned cooling system issue could be the cause of the glowing pipes. Thanks again, Jason from Hampton Roads, Virginia.
Hampton Roads, man.
Is that close to you?
Yeah, dude. That's the 7 cities of Virginia. That's right on the East Coast. Norfolk is one of them. Hampton Roads is like the little belt. So it's my stomping grounds, bro.
Okay.
Cool. Well, thanks for the update, Jason. I don't know who said cooling, but
I
I'm
think
gonna
you
say
did.
you did.
No, you did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Well, cool. Yeah, that would. I mean, overheating motor would definitely call hot pipes because the pipes are coming from the motor. So, sounds like he diagnosed it. It sounds like he said that he grounded the fan, which is cool because that would make it function. Yeah, he said I tested the fan by grounding it out to make sure it works. So that sounds like it does work. And so he ordered the thermal switch, which tells the fan to go. It grounds once. Yeah. Awesome.
So
Awesome.
one more thing I want to add is on the air fuel screws. I think he was out at 4 turns.
Yeah, he was pretty far out there.
So I don't know if he's adjusting this just to do it, but you're going to want to do this while it's idling. And we both have videos on how to set
For sure.
fuel screws. So we'll put them in the description below. Make
For
sure you
sure.
follow the procedure and get it actually correct versus just turning them in and out.
Yeah.
And as far as the plugs were removed, anytime that, I mean, I don't know what year this thing is, I forgot, but anytime it gets a carb job done, which it probably has at some point.
Yeah.
They should be removed. Fuel screws should be removed. All that should be cleaned. So that's probably why they're missing.
Right.
So it just means it's been serviced.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yep. Absolutely. Great knowledge, Matt. Great knowledge.
Thanks, man.
All right, moving on. Question 3.
Actually, you're all off by 1.
Oh, yeah, I am. Question 4.
That's all right. I'll fix it in the notes.
Thank you. Hey, I was wondering if you would like some craft beer from other parts of the country. What do you think, Matt?
Yes.
Absolutely. I have been thinking of sending a 6-pack to each of you, and you can use them as you see fit. It could be a twist to the show. I like this. I love where this is going. Maybe you wouldn't want people sending a ton of beer. I disagree. Which could end up being a logistical nightmare for storage.
Dude, I'll buy another rack, man. I don't care.
Dude, I will definitely buy another rack if someone wants to start sending some beers. That's a great idea. Paul, AICD. I don't. That might be his last name. I don't know.
It's handle or something, but anyway,
Paul,
I thought it was acid, but it's not.
Yeah.
But anyway,
do you have a like a UPS
PO box? No.
Okay.
I had one.
Maybe I should get one.
I don't know how much beer you can fit in one of those though, you know?
That's true.
So here's the way I look at it. If someone wants to do this, like Paul, I just email askbrokenmoto@gmail.com. I will share my home address.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to do it here
Right.
on YouTube because people send me all kinds of weird shit. But
yeah.
Yeah, if someone wants to do that as a nice gesture,
yeah,
absolutely. I'll share you with my address. And that way I don't even have to go to the liquor store, man. I just kind of walk out here.
I'm so down for that.
In my sweatpants and drink beer.
It's a great idea. That's a great idea. It's like the old school days when the milkman would drop off milk. We just reach out the front door and grab us a 6-pack, go back inside. Dude, that's a great idea. I like it.
Yeah, and that way I don't buy the same old shit every time, you know.
Exactly.
You know, so
exactly. I would love to try stuff from wherever, you know, because there's little craft brews everywhere, man. They're freaking everywhere. So, and I love the taste of beer. I like anything beer flavored. You know what I mean? So I'll try whatever. I'll try anything once. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Yeah. Perfect. So yeah,
cool.
Paul will be sending and replying.
Yeah.
With our address.
Hit us up, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So if you don't mind, I want to read this one too.
Okay.
So this is from a long time member of mine since like day one. He's like OG motorcyclemd, right? Him and his wife, they're awesome couple in Florida. And he's just stuck with motorcyclemd since the start, man. He's a really great guy.
That's awesome.
He's rebuilding. I think he's rebuilding like a Kawasaki H2 or H.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay. Dude. And he's crushing it. I mean,
the Widowmaker or whatever.
Yes, and
so he's a 750.
He's done all the right things. He's got a vapor hone. He's doing all the right things. It's a gorgeous piece. But he writes in. He had a question that inside of the membership, we have a private Facebook group where we can talk, you know, hash things out, talk about project, upload videos, pictures, whatever. And I asked the group like, hey, what do you guys what do you think will be a cool topic to learn about this year? You know, as for content for the members, because it's something that I've always struggled with, is trying to dictate YouTube content and membership content. You know what I mean? So I try to ask the members, what do you guys want to know? And he sent this in, and I thought it was interesting, and I haven't gotten to it yet, so I figured we bring it here, and me and you can talk about it. So,
Okay.
Question 5, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Cody and Matt, I know you have done restos of different parts, system of bikes, but the process of putting it all together can be overwhelming. So I guess like restoring a bike or whatever. How to evaluate a project bike, before and after purchase evaluation, where can you make mistakes, and how to avoid costly ones, how to start and plan the restoration, or just go low budget, refresh as an everyday rider. How does a restoration flow? What do you do if, X happens, if something wrong happens? How do you kind of push forward, I guess? Mike from Florida, and that's the question. So,
man, that's a deep one.
It is, but I think it's a good one, because a lot of people buy junk, but they have high hopes because they got it for $100,
Yeah.
And when it comes down to brass tacks, it's a long haul. It's usually a long haul. And it requires money that you will likely not see in return, which is the number one thing you got to realize when you get into it. Because when you start getting into situations that you don't know what you're doing, or you want to do something cool that you didn't know how much that costs, like I want to get the frame painted, or I want to get it powder coated, and you don't know, like tearing stuff apart is easy, right?
Yep.
But when you go to get that thing powder coated, and you're like, yeah, and the powder coating company said, yeah, I'll do it for, $375. You're like, what? I paid $100 for the bike. What do you mean? So like, you got to know what you're getting into. The Instagram bikes and all that stuff, it costs a lot of money to do that. Like,
and
these
time.
are not cheap, but yeah, and time. These are not cheap, fast builds. These are usually a team of people, and they have resources to people who can paint, who can rebuild, who can, do electrical, all this stuff. And it costs money. Like, so you take a $300 bike and suddenly it turns into a $12,000 bike, because you want to do all this cool stuff to it. I mean, I'm not restoring this bike, but it's a nut and bolt rebuild,
Sure.
So as far as like, I know that you did this, you pretty much did a 750 motor, a full motor.
So that's a story of what not to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can talk about that, but keep going.
So I think there's some important things to know your limit on what you can do, right? So you want to build a bobber, you want to build a chopper, or you want to TJ Brutal the bike out and do, old Honda bunny ears style chopper, or cafe racer, or tracker, all these things that people are getting into, which are really cool things to do. But know your limits, okay? And be prepared to face them pretty quickly, right? So I think what's important to do first off is just have a budget of how much you want to spend on a particular bike that you want. See what the field's going for, like how much are they usually costing at this type of condition, whatever. See, you can, before you even get into it, see what's available out there. Go on eBay, see what parts are available. See what's still available from factory. See what aftermarket companies are pumping out bikes. If you go for a GB650 trophy cafe racer from Honda, they made like a handful of them, and you can't get anything for these bikes. You can't get anything for the bikes, but the bike's awesome. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But that's a huge thing. Like I've literally seen people spend $12,000 or $8,000 or $6,000 on a bike that they can't get parts for, so they're just stuck with this bike that doesn't run, and it needs this, and that, and they thought it'd be way easier to get it, but now they're in the hole. So there are obviously very popular old bikes that aftermarket companies want to like leech onto, but just because you pick up a 1980 something V65 Magna that was really cool back when it came out in that 1 year, and the aftermarket companies are like, we're not going to make parts for this thing. Like no one, like there's not that many of them, and none of these parts cross over to anything. So they don't. That's not what they want to do. So it kind of limits the field. Unless you know people who can do machining, and you know people who can make things, and you know like your resources are plentiful. You know, so. But I think there's very basic things to do. You know, make sure that the frame's not bent, which I actually ran into on this bike. I didn't notice, but after I got it back from being powder coated, I noticed that the front down tree had a dent in it, and that was kind of a bummer. You know, because I like the frame's beautiful. I didn't check it over like that well, but the very front, that part right there, it's like one solid stem that comes down.
Yeah.
It was like they hit the tailgate of a truck or something, you know, like it's not bent in and now it's all cockeyed, but there's a dent in it, and it's a very awkward dent. And I'm like, how the hell did this happen?
So now you wish you would have filled it or something?
Yeah. Done something to make it, you know, because now it's powder coated. So now I'm like, well, I'm not going to get it re-powder coated. Motor stuff, you know, check to see if it has compression. A lot of these, like any old bike, and I will stand by this till my face turns blue, any old bike that you get likely needs a rebuild fairly soon. Okay, because the parts inside, it may have compression, it may run, it may sound pretty good, it may sound like it did when it came out of the box, but the thing is that the parts inside, nothing
are
is
on
perfect.
Its last leg.
Yeah, nothing is perfect. The rubber components, like for a lot of the old 350 stuff, or those tensioner systems that have those hard rubber parts that have now turned into some, like, you know, brittle plastic, they're going to fall apart and they're going to grenade, you know, and sludge build up. How many times have you taken an old motor apart and found sludge in the bottom of it?
Every single one, right?
Yeah, every single one, man. And that stuff, once you start running the bike and it gets kicked up, and all of a sudden it starts making its way up to these not so perfect oil gullies that they used to do back then, you know, stuff gets plugged up, heads swell, and lack of oil, and it's just, you got to really clean those things. Like, and I'll stand by that forever. So I don't want to, you know, go too hard into this, but as far as a flow chart, I guess what I would do is, like I said, do your research above or before you go into it. See what's available. See how far you can go before you're like, well, this is going to be something that I'm going to have to spend a lot of money on finding a part for this that's rare or whatever. And then see how far you want to go. But you're always going to spend more than what you thought. And when you run into X, Y, and Z, you got to pay for it.
Right.
If you want to keep the build going and not end up like a statistic on Facebook Marketplace and have these cafe projects that are not done at all, and then they destroyed a beautiful bike to make it now a box of parts, you got to spend the money, man. And that's just like, in the end, it's going to be great, but in the moment, you got to spend some money.
Yeah.
What do you think? I didn't mean to take over that thing, but this is the passionate.
Right. So, I mean, first up, you got to back up and ask yourself this question.
Yeah.
Do I like riding or do I like wrenching?
Okay.
Or maybe you like both, but do you like the process of working on things?
Yeah.
Or do you want to just go ride the damn thing for hundreds of miles every weekend?
Right.
If you like riding and you buy $100 project, you're going to be unhappy.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's a black hole, dude. Right.
Yeah. But why it's $100.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's assume you like riding. What I would, or you just want to enjoy a motorcycle, right? You actually ride it, right?
Yeah.
Buy something that is ready to go. That needs a little work that you can learn as you go, but don't buy a project bike. Buy something that you can enjoy today.
Yeah.
And just do little projects on it. Okay.
That's good advice.
And if it means waiting, delaying your gratification, save up some money and just wait.
Yeah.
And buy it end of season.
Yeah.
Okay. Buy in the fall, have the cash ready to go and buy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you spend a little bit more money on that project, like let's say you're passionate about old bikes, right? You spend a little bit more money. Let's say double what you planned on spending. You could get that bike in running condition because someone spent the time. They spent the money.
Right.
Now they're taking a little bit of a hit by selling it, but they need to get rid of it. And now you can both enjoy the bike and do exactly what Matt said and work on it, transform it, take a sawzall to the rear frame, whatever you want to do. You can literally get the bike that you want, or you can visualize and dream about in a running condition, in good condition.
Yeah, but on the flip side, let's say you don't care about riding, but you really love building stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or like what you got. Well, then, I mean, it's always nice to buy something complete and with a clean title.
For sure.
Because titling can be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay. Depending on what state you live in and whatever. So you want to buy something complete. And then as far as restoring it, I know it can get overwhelming. So I don't know, put some notes together about steps where you need to be and just kind of just do a little bit each day.
Yeah.
Or every other day. And it keeps everything moving forward. And then you stay engaged, you know?
Yeah. For sure. I have a question for you. So let's say Matt bought a 1968 Black Bomber 450, CB 450 Black Bomber. And you were pumped about it. Like you couldn't wait to have this bike, right?
Okay.
You spent X amount of dollars on it, but you know that you bought this bike to do a restoration on, right?
Okay.
What would be the first three things that you would do? First three things. You put it onto the bench. It's strapped down. What are you going to do?
Service manual, pull the VIN number, engine number, just find out info on it. Stare at it for a while.
Yeah. I'd see if it runs.
Well, yeah. I guess. Wait, you said restore, so I thought I immediately assumed tear it down or whatever. But yeah, I mean,
right.
I always try to get things functioning.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
That's all I was getting at.
Yeah.
See how in depth you need to go by just doing simple things like let's see if it runs. If it runs and the motor's good and obviously you probably have to do some carb work, whatever. And let's say the tank is junk and the forks are junk and the tires are junk and all this stuff's junk. But if you have good bones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, everything is there. That's a key phrase. Everything is there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So let me tell you what not to do. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I bought that 74 CB 750 sight unseen for $400 delivered to my house. I just, and you got to understand that I have a little small business here and I do videos and I sell videos and I got YouTube videos. So I had a different goal in mind than restoring it or whatever. I wanted to do a certain amount of videos on it and I wanted it to ride it around the block and that's it. And I was done with it. Yeah. And that's exactly what I did. Okay. So I bought it without a title. That's an issue, especially here in Illinois. It's impossible to title stuff. Okay. And then furthermore, they ground off the VIN number and riveted their own copper stamped tag on there from Indiana. So there was no chance for that frame, dude. No chance. Right. Okay. Right. Then the thing was seized and I knew that and I didn't care. I wanted to do a video on it.
Yeah.
That means most likely a complete rebuild. And yes, I took it all apart and needed everything. Right. Yep. So dude, that was a lot of money.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
And you went through that thing all the way.
All the way, man. Vapor blasted everything, but everything was rebuilt in that thing, dude.
Yep.
Zinc plated all the bolts. I mean, dude, it was brand new.
Yeah.
And since I didn't complete it, it wasn't worth much, unfortunately. Right. Even though the motor was rebuilt and all that, I probably could have parted it out, whatever. But, and I knew that, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I got it to where I needed to be.
Right. You achieved what you ultimately wanted.
And then I cut it off. But
yeah. And that's the nature of the beast, man.
Yeah.
You know? Fortunately, you're able to, in the long game, because you're a content creator, and that's what we do. We make content that's super helpful for people in hopes that it helps them and we can get a return on our investment, our time investment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different concept for, let's say, me or you, but the guys who are not doing that, who are not shooting a video on what they're doing, they're just straight dumping money out, you know?
Yeah.
And you got to be prepared for that. You got to be prepared for that.
But there are people that did it my way and then they abandon the project.
Right.
And they sell it for next to nothing because no one wants an uncompleted project. Right.
Right.
So that you don't want to get in that situation.
Yeah,
for sure.
But low budget builds, I mean, if it's all there, I think you can do a pretty easy low budget build, get the bike running and do a carb. Like, you'd be surprised at how many old bikes you pick up that are all there and they're old, you know, they're 50, 60 years old. You clean the carbs on them, you get them fired up, man, and they run, you know, and you can do that. That's pretty damn low budget, if you ask me. How long that's going to last you, I don't know, you know, but
it just depends, right?
It all depends. It all depends. Like I said, if you wanted to, if you're depending on that thing for a daily rider, bad choice. Bad choice, because you're gonna have to learn real quick on how to fix, maintenance, repair, rebuild on those old bikes, because that's just what they need.
Or you can be like my brother, who buys mint stuff for next to nothing, beats on it for years, and then sells it for equal or more money.
Someone else's problem now.
And he doesn't even work on them. I mean, he's like, hey, Matt, hey, I got this problem, you know, and he
kick rocks.
brings it over here. But it's all good.
Yeah, man, for sure. So hopefully that was helpful. I mean, we gave a lot of information, but I think that's a really cool topic that I think that a lot of people go into blindly, you know? Because there's a big fad right now, man, with motorcycles. It's been going on for probably 3 years now. It's the custom bike, and maybe it's been going on forever. Maybe
it's been going on for longer than that. Well,
but I mean, in the space, because I've been working on motorcycles for over 10 years.
Okay,
and maybe it's just because I wasn't into this space or into this market for old bikes or whatever. But I see more and more younger, my generation, buying these bikes, chopping them up, and then making what is now I call Instagram bikes out of them, or trying to, at least, you know, the cafe, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Of course, they've been doing it forever. Of course, this tradition's gone on. I mean, Dave, my boss, he remembers when he bought like some CL brand new and just cut the headers right off of the motor, you know, like brand new. And now you're like, what are you doing?
I think the styles have changed.
For sure.
For example, like the CB750 that I got, you could tell it's parked in the 80s because that's when the tires were coated or whatever. But dude, it was raked, bars like this, and side pipes. I mean, that was probably what everyone was doing in the 80s. Okay,
yeah, dude, trying to chop stuff.
Late 70s, early 80s, and now it's all this cafe shit. You know, it's just fine. And you know what? 10 years from now, it's going to be something else.
For sure.
You know? So
for sure. Very good point. Very good point.
I mean, even with the car back there, there's a whole group of people that restores it, but now it's a lot of resto mod, which is like modern performance in an older car.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. You know, it's styles kind of change, man. Just like your clothes, you know.
Very, very true.
Dude, you know how baggy my pants were in the 90s, dude? Dude. It was like
rocking some Jinkos, dude.
You know, and I was into skating and stuff, so the bigger the better, dude. We'd go to the store and
the bigger the better.
Go to the big and tall section, you know.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Man. It's funny.
All right.
I think that's it, man.
I think that's it, dude.
I think we talked enough, man. So
wrap us up, man. Get us out of here.
All right, guys. That was a lot of questions, a lot of talking.
Yeah.
That'll do it
Good
for
questions,
this
though. Good questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to contact Paul for some beers right to our house.
Yes,
and
sir.
then you're gonna give me the link for the washers, and
We got some carb stuff. Probably that we got to plug or something.
yeah, you got
VT1100
anything to plug or?
adjustments. No, I mean the grip clean. Matt's got his products. Time for you guys to get yours. I have an affiliate. They support Motorcycle MD and whatever Motorcycle MD does, which is Broken Moto Show. And you guys can get 10% off your entire cart. And this product stuff's awesome. Matt's gonna chime in probably next week in a week or two and let me know what he thinks. I gave him a bottle of their heavy duty lemon scented. I love the wipes. I love the wipes. The wipes are awesome. Still wet? Yeah, sweet. That was
sure.
probably like 30 minutes ago. Cool. But yeah, I mean, you can get 10% off your whole cart. That's cool. I know that as far as anyone on my channel, they're probably like, where the hell is Cody been? And why is he not putting out any videos besides Broken Moto Show? Because that's what I feel internal. You know, it's like my own issue. But let you guys know, I have a lot of cool stuff in the works. If any of you guys are watching this, I'm excited about it. I know that it's been a while since I've been working on stuff. It's just been a really weird season for me lately. So I'm excited to get back to pumping out some content though. So nothing else to plug.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to be getting back on the kicks, 250 behind me here.
Oh yeah.
I got some parts coming in.
Sweet, man.
And definitely some Chevelle stuff. So I got to get going on that stuff.
You've been cranking some stuff out though, man. I see some videos out like every week from you. So
yeah. Some of the lately they've been a little short, but you know,
yeah,
it's
content, dude.
Yeah.
More than what I'm doing.
Takes time.
Oh, cool.
Man.
Yeah, it does. It does.
All right. Well, if you guys have a tech question, send it in to askbrokenmoto@gmail.com. You know the million rules.
Yep.
I think that's it, man.
If you want to send us beer, give us an email.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
Until next time. See you guys later.
Later.